All right, my friends, here we go. This is going to be game number 2 here between KiLLeR and MC in this best-of-3 series. Now, we did see MC win the last game with some very impressive Phoenix harass, also warping some Zealots up into KiLLeR's main, and he just completely demolished the economy, stopped so much mining for quite a long time, and then he just kept up that constant aggression, and it was way too much for KiLLeR to handle. We will have to see how this game number 2 fares, though. This time we are here on Metalopolis. We can see MC spawning down in the 6 o'clock position as our red Protoss player, and then down over here in the 9 o'clock is the blue Zerg player KiLLeR. So it's game number 2 in this best-of-3 series, Protoss versus Zerg, MC versus KiLLeR, and let's go. We do need to see KiLLeR come back and win this game in order to stay in the series between these two players. We can see this game, MC will not be Forge Fast expanding, obviously very difficult to actually pull off on this map given the very wide nature of, the area that you have to defend at your expansion. So he will be starting off with one base play here, going with that pylon, and the gateway will be situated for that wall off. Now we can see right now moving right up into the main here of KiLLeR. KiLLeR still hasn't made that decision, not yet dropping that spawning pool or that hatchery. That will be coming momentarily. The fact that he has been scouted out, though, leads me to believe that he should just be dropping that pool rather than risking trying to come up with that expansion and possibly dealing with any type of harass that MC could do. And that's more or less what happens a lot of times, especially on these maps. I mean, this is a relatively small map in comparison to some of the other ones that are on the ladder right now. And if you get scouted right away by your Protoss opponent and you try to drop that hatch immediately, for one, that probe is going to delay that hatch from being dropped if he scouts in early enough, like MC managed to do here. And that alone is enough to give you a headache, so it's kind of worthwhile to just drop that pool and extractor, get that Zergling or two, and then go for that hatch a little bit later. And again, it's not the worst of things. You get those early Zerglings, it gives you some map control, some scouting abilities as well. Back over here for MC, that first assimilator did just finish. He's getting that saturated right now. Should be seeing that Cybernex core finish that wall off right now with that one space in between. There we go. So there's just one space for that Zealot. Back over here, MC still scouting out, still pretty comfortable right now. Doesn't have to leave until that pool finishes, which actually it has right now. Surprisingly, though, KiLLeR not coming out with any Zerglings yet. Maybe just assuming that MC... Oh, no, he was supply blocked. I believe that was the reason why. Anyways, either way, Zerglings just building right now, so he's got 4 Zerglings coming on through, and the drone will be trying to delay this expansion, but I think KiLLeR should get it, no problem. Yeah, no problem at all. So, unfortunately, MC wasn't able to delay that. We've got those first 4 Zerglings coming on through, so MC will have to head on back home. We have the Overlord moving over here to check to see if there's any proxy pylon or any sort of shenanigans like that. And then we will have those Zerglings grabbing these towers, moving to the front of MC's base to do a little bit of scouting and see what he can see. Zerglings fanning out, looking for that probe right now. The probe is sitting at the tower. We've got one Zergling heading on over to that. MC should see that and be able to pull back home, although it is just one Zergling, so nothing too scary. And actually, we've got a Zealot moving on down, so he's going to be trying to engage and kill off that Zergling, and he does it! Oh boy, KiLLeR, unfortunately, not paying enough attention to that Zergling, wasn't able to micro it back in time. That actually makes me a little bit sad. We do have one Stalker coming out, a Stargate as well, so MC playing again with some Stargate harass this game. That first Stalker will be followed up by another Zealot, so we'll be having 2 Zealots and 1 Stalker here for the early game, and there we go. What we're seeing MC do right here is force KiLLeR to make some Zerglings. We can see 10 Zerglings about to pop. This is not anything that KiLLeR would typically do. Right now he wants to be droning up, but he cannot just because of this harassment, and very, very nice here by MC. Really liking this. We're going to see KiLLeR actually forced to come down with the Queen just to be able to prevent this from doing too much damage. Should be seeing MC try to wedge himself in the corner to be able to prevent that surround from those Zerglings. And there we go, wedging right in the corner, the Zealot in the front. Look at that phenomenal unit positioning for MC. That is just unreal. He's going to do as much damage as possible. He will be overwhelmed here, but that was very, very phenomenal. Overall, taking a loss in comparison to KiLLeR, but he did delay the mining, and he forced that big creation of Zerglings here. Again, this is a lot more than KiLLeR would typically want to actually come out with for that early game Zergling count. Do we have one sentry sitting here as well as that Zealot? Zergling's not going to be able to do much. We should see a force field, and there we go, not a problem. Again, just paying just enough attention to be able to deal with this. And actually, he's not going to have enough energy for this next force field once that dissipates. There we go, second sentry. Of course, MC knows exactly what he's doing. He's able to drop that second force field, no problem. No, getting surrounded with the sentry. Oh boy, that was unfortunate. MC wasn't paying attention, and this is actually no good right now. Oh boy, he's about to burst right into the main, but there we go, getting another Zealot warped in. 2 more gateways getting placed down. The Zealot's moving forward to engage, and hopefully, there we go, getting up. And oh no, he sneaks on in. Now, this isn't going to do a lot of damage. There's just too few Zerglings, but even just forcing a few of these workers off the line and microing around to do a little bit of damage. MC's also in danger of losing this over here at the same time. One Phoenix and the Void Ray moving across right now. No kills yet, but he will be getting this Queen right now and doing a little bit more damage. We got 2 Spore Crawlers coming on through. Looks like those Zerglings were finally taken care of, but this is a nice opening right now. He has managed to deal with that Zergling harass. Looks like no more will be coming from KiLLeR, and now KiLLeR has to contend with this Void Ray and Phoenix harass, the same type of stuff that he had to deal with last game. 2 Spore Crawlers coming down, trying to strategically place themselves to keep this Void Ray away as much as possible. Although, look at this. I'm going to expect him to just move right down there. And is he getting... Oh, no. This would be really bad if he can get this spawning pool kill. This is going to force KiLLeR to move on down. And do want to try to keep that up charged. There we go. So he will be keeping that charge up. And, oh, no. KiLLeR might be losing this spawning pool. If he loses that, that would be a very, very bad situation right now. He is rooting that Spore Crawler, though, just in time. And unfortunately for MC, he's not out of the range here. He needs to pull back before he loses this. Very, very close to losing that Void Ray. We get that 1 Queen ready to engage. Unfortunately, right now, he's a little bit pinned. I think if he tries to continue to move, he'll get hit by that Spore. So right now, MC doesn't really have much that he can do. These Phoenixes, no kills for them, so they had just been used with that Graviton Beam to be able to lift off for the Void Ray. However, that Void Ray is trapped right now with nowhere to go, so he should be waiting until the shields recharge before he continues to push out. Back over here for MC, we do have the expansion coming through. Also, Gateway formulating a little bit of a wall off here for him. MC chasing out those Zerglings, but finally pulling back home. 2 Phoenixes, again, trying to do some harass. I don't think they have gotten any kills. Still no kills right now. There we go. That Void Ray finally recharged with those shields. Needs to be careful. Here come those Queens, and MC will be losing this Void Ray. Just not paying enough attention to it. Wasn't able to pull it away in time, and see you later. Doing what damage he can to that 1 Queen. Couple of Zerglings sitting over here. Phoenixes doing scouting, but not much else. It looks like we will not be seeing any more Phoenix production over here from MC, so MC will just be sticking with this Gateway tech for now. He also got a Forge and a Robo coming out, so might be working his way up into Colossus. I would say an Observer pretty early on, but that's only going to be necessary for those Bird Roaches because at the moment he does have these Phoenixes to do the scouting that he needs, so the Observer isn't really necessary for scouting at this point in the game. Robotics just finished. Zerglings trying to engage right now with that assimilator. The robotics just about finished, and there we go. Level 1 upgrade also starting right here. Back at that Forge. Zerglings not going to be able to do much at all. Still just on the 2 bases, and my gosh, KiLLeR is actually just going to be sticking on the 2. Yes, he's got a 3rd hatch here, but he's not moving into a 3rd mining base. He's sticking on the 2. This 3rd hatch is used just for the larva, and there we go. MC scouting it out with the Phoenix. Now, what is the point of this? KiLLeR is going very aggressive. He's going to be trying to do a ton of damage, pushing out incredibly hard and seeing if he can break MC. That's the only reason to go with kind of this in-base hatch before you expand. Looks like he is also coming out with this expansion, but again, provided this in-base hatch, going to allow him to stay in his kind of protected area with all these Spore Crawlers as well as these Spines. It'll help him deal with this Phoenix harass a little bit easier rather than spreading himself thin, and that extra larva giving him that opportunity to pump out a ton of units off of just these 2 mining bases at this point in the game and possibly move out for some damage. Now, with that said, it doesn't appear to be the case that he is pushing out, so maybe just utilizing those additional larvae without actually being aggressive. In fact, he can just use those just to drone up a little bit harder. We can see a bunch of drones coming out. Does have a few Zerglings as well, but not formidable enough of a force to actually push out and do any damage. And MC even appears to be moving into a 3rd himself, so MC gearing up to take this 3rd expansion over here, and the Phoenix is just continuing up their harassment. We also have that 1 Observer moving out for scouting. There we go. We've got a Robotics Bay in play right now. We have that Thermal Lance coming on out. There's that first Colossus, a level 1 upgrade for those ground weapons units for the Protoss army, just about finished. There's that Pylon being right in the position, implying that expansion. Of course, he will be coming out with a little bit of a wall off to try to prevent those Zerglings from doing too much damage. So there we go, placing down a Gateway, probably 1 or 2 more as well, maybe even a couple of cannons, and there you go, look at that. So MC trying to defend this area, and this will be enough for him. Bunch of Zerglings moving across to try to do a bit of damage, but we've got a full wall off with these cannons here. If the Zerglings can get there in time, they could do some damage. You can also try to sweep up from the other angle, although most of MC's units are situated over here. We do have some Infestors coming into play. Here go the Zerglings moving down to try to engage, and they will be actually bypassing that army and moving right up into this Expo. And again, he's got that opportunity. This is the one pylon powering all of this, so that will get taken out. He's got force field around it. Beautiful force fields. there by MC, trapping a lot of those Zerglings. A few of them managed to escape, although they won't be able to do much at all because we do have a couple cannons over here, so those Zerglings will be forced back. But that was absolutely beautiful, saving that pylon, allowing those cannons to come on through, as well as those gateways to stay powered. See what's going on over here. A little bit of Phoenix harass, sitting with 3 kills on that one, 1 kill on that Phoenix. So the Phoenix finally coming into play, doing a bit of damage. We do have a scouting observer over here for MC. He will be seeing whenever KiLLeR decides to push out. Zerglings are heading back home right now. Do want to take a look at the army tab right now. Looks like MC is at a pretty strong advantage. We've got a heavy drone count coming out right now for KiLLeR. KiLLeR is also working his way up into hive tech. That is very important to note. We'll really want to keep an eye as to what he is looking to get with that hive tech in play now. Whoa, this is pretty interesting. He could even go for those adrenal guns, try to get those cracklings in play. He's got an Ultralisk cavern. 14 minutes in the game, Ultralisk Cavern building. That is not something you see every day, folks. Very nice. Also sitting very infestor heavy. Look at that fungal growth too. Getting that observer. Is he going to drop another one? He did, in fact. Need to be careful though, those infestors, very vulnerable. Oh, that is very bad for KiLLeR. He's going to be losing these infestors. He's got to keep pushing back right now. That was pretty devastating. Now, the Ultra Cavern is still coming through. I don't think it's going to be in time. Also, we're seeing MC with this push and that observer able to take out those creep tumors, losing another infestor just because of these 2 Phoenixes. Oh, he's lost so many infestors so far. This is a big travesty. Zerglings moving down to engage. Unfortunately, that Ultralisk Cavern is not finished right now. We got a couple of fungal growths going down, and my gosh, is he gonna have enough to deal with this? These infestors just taking so much damage because of those Phoenixes getting absolutely roasted, and this one needs to stay back because he's in a dangerous position as well. We've got 1 Ultra coming through, also a ton of Zerglings, a couple more infestors coming through as well. Neuroparasite should be in soon. That's gonna help a lot. Nice fungal growth. That's gonna take out a few of those zealots there. Unfortunately, not enough health left on those, so those will be pushed back. So very nice. KiLLeR actually managing to push this back just barely. 2 Ultras coming through, 3 more infestors, a ton of Zerglings. He's got that level 2 upgrades. We do have MC, has been working up into his 3rd expansion. Looks like he's feeling a little scared right now with the forces that he has, so he's forced to push back. At the same time, we've got KiLLeR here sitting with this expansion, working his way up into his 4th, but these Ultras, I'm actually not entirely sure if this is something that no, MC does not know about that Ultra Cavern. We also have that armor upgrade, the +2 armor coming up for those Ultras. That's going to make them that much more effective. That Neuroparasite going to help KiLLeR a lot. Definitely something he needed in that last engagement to deal with those Colossus as well as those Phoenixes. But fret not, basically, because he will have it for this next engagement. Phoenix is still alive, and just they've been doing, even though they only have a few kills each, they've been doing so much damage just by lifting up those Phoenixes alone. Pretty devastating indeed. We got a couple Spore Crawlers there for some defense. Should be shooing away those Phoenixes. Ultras continuing to come through right now. Zergling Scouts moving out. We already have these 2 Ultras right here, and I'm looking forward to a push from KiLLeR. Hopefully he can move out and try to do a bit of damage. Ooh, MC feeling really bold right now. He's actually moving into this high yield expansion. These Phoenixes doing a bit of econ harass over there. We need that Spore Crawler to kind of reposition himself. Zergling's moving around to try to get some scouting done right now. Are we going to see? Yeah, we're seeing some continuous upgrades. A level 2 Ground Carpus. Again, that Ultra upgrade will be out very soon. We got 4 more Ultras ready to pop, and this is going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait to see him push with this and actually engage. I want to see how much damage he's able to do. Do keep in mind, being these massive units, that any force fields that get dropped by MC won't be very effective. I'm not sure actually how many sentries. Okay, he's got no sentries in place, so never mind that. Here we go. A couple of Zealots streaming across the map. They're about to run into these Ultras, and this is no good. Couple of fungal growths going down as well, so see you later. Those Zealots going to get mopped up very quickly without doing much damage at all. There's another fungal growth, and look at these Ultras just tear through them. Eating them for breakfast. That's no problem whatsoever. Few more Ultras sitting over here. 5 more coming out. And this is, oh man, the tension is so high. I need to see him push with that. I want to see how much damage he's able to do. Now, we do have Blink Stalkers plus these Colossus, but I'm not sure how they're going to fare against that number of Ultras plus those fungal growths. We do have a couple of Phoenixes, and without any anti-air, he's forced to come down with these infested Terrans. And here's the engagement right now. Ultras moving forward as well as those Zerglings. Infestors need to drop some fungal growth or some Narrow Parasite, one or the other. There we go. Narrow Parasite's going down. The Ultras doing what they can. The Blink Stalker's microing back right now. Is it going to be enough for MC? He's also got the Colossus on the high ground. The Ultra is so durable with those armor upgrades, though. And my gosh, the Ultras plus the Zerglings tearing through all of MC's army. And here comes that big counterattack right now. MC has got nothing doing. Let's take a look. He's got 8 Stalkers right now. I don't even know where those are. Looks like those are down there. He's in a tough spot right now. KiLLeR just needs to push out with this counterattack. These crazy fast ultras, relatively speaking, these were very fast ultras, very heavy ultra count, and they just absolutely tore through MC's army. With those armor upgrade, it provided them enough time to be able to get up, even though they take damage because it takes them quite some time to get up on those Blink Stalkers and Colossus. Once they got there, you saw how devastating it was, and look at that GG. MC pushed out with some early game Zealot Stalker aggression. However, KiLLeR was able to wrap up right behind him, get a full surround, and deal with this no problem. KiLLeR then moved out for a counterattack, and MC missing that one force field right there. He allowed Zerglings to stream up to his base. Now, KiLLeR wasn't able to do that much damage, but the fact that he was able to take out those 2 sentries and plus work his Zerglings into the main base of MC was certainly a problem. MC counteracted with some Void Ray and Phoenix Harass. He was able to take out this queen and do a little bit of damage. However, Spore Crawlers proved to be the demise of this push. After that, we saw both players macro up, with MC working up to Colossus and moving into his 3rd expansion, while KiLLeR went Infestor Speedling and worked his way into his 4th. At 15 minutes, MC pushed out and was able to do a bit of damage to KiLLeR. In fact, he almost broke KiLLeR here and won the game. Also, lifting off those Infestors certainly wasn't the best of things. However, with some clutch reinforcements as well as some good fungal growths, KiLLeR was just barely able to defend himself. We're going to see how very close this is right here. It looks like MC's at a distinct advantage, but again, we had some very close reinforcements, a couple more Infestors, providing some fungal growths to take out most of the rest of those Zealots, and that was enough to force MC back. After defending himself, we saw KiLLeR work his way up into Ultralisk tech, making sure to get those armor upgrades. Then at around 20 minutes, MC moved out. However, he got completely rolled over by these upgraded Ultralisks, plus some neural parasites and fungal growths. We're going to see how effective those Ultras plus Infestors and Speedlings are at completely rolling over that Protoss army. And at this point, MC had nothing left and was forced to call the GG. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this commentary. So this was game number 2 in this best of 3 series. They are now tied up right now 1-1. We will be moving on to game number 3 in just one moment. As always guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.